Hello everyone, this is Ezekiel O'Callahan with Raptor Chatter, here to tell you about my experience at the Fukui Prefectural Dinosaur Museum in Japan. So here's the highlights from Japan's premier natural history museum. The museum is built nearby the Kitadani Formation, one of the main formations for dinosaurs in Japan, and houses a fully animatronic Fukui raptor, a Megaraptorian, from that formation. This is one of the main dinosaurs you'll see here, as there's a lot of information and merchandise on it throughout the museum. There's an entire section of the museum that is focused on this formation, the Kitadani, and the species Fukui raptor, Fukuisaurus and Koshisaurus, which are both hadrosaurs, Fukui venator, which is a dromaeosaur, and they even have a full mock dig for Fukui titan, a titanosauriform sauropod, which is believed to be, like some of the Chinese relatives of it, having a tail club. They even go so far as to have an entire display just on the different plant life from the formation, such as these ginkgos, which are very similar to modern day ginkgos. Outside of the local formation, they had plenty of casts and some fossils from around the planet, with Suchomimus from Africa, Cenosaurus from China, and side-by-side full-sized mounts of Tyrannosaurus rex and Tarbosaurus bataar, two species which some have argued may be the same genus, meaning Tarbosaurus bataar could potentially be Tyrannosaurus bataar. However, the current scientific consensus is that they are separate genus, and this is based on particular features, such as the even smaller arms of Tarbosaurus. With the sauropods, they had some like this Mamenchiosaurus, which was absolutely massive, and you could pretty much walk under to just get a sense of how large some of these dinosaurs were. Or this Camarasaurus, which according to my wife, had goofy teeth. But still, looks better than when they found it. Isn't nature and paleontology beautiful? Then the smaller ornithopods, like Dryosaurus and Camptosaurus, and their evolution into the iguanodontids, with very specific information on their signage, such as Camptosaurus had an elongated muzzle with 2 rows of teeth in each row. This dinosaur resembles iguanodontid dinosaurs, but it is more primitive than iguanodontids in having kidney-shaped sternal bones and 4 toes on each foot, whereas iguanodontids have a sternal with a shaft and 3 toes on each foot. So again, very specific information that they were showing on these signs, something I would love to see other museums taking into consideration. They did also have larger iguanodontids as well, such as Muttaburrasaurus from Australia and Ouranosaurus from northern Africa. And then the more traditional hadrosaurs, such as Saurolophus, Edmontosaurus, and Cretosaurus. They had another section which also had a Centausaurus, which for a time was a very unique looking dinosaur, until it underwent a change in style during 2013, when its believed unicorn crest was found to be only partial, giving it a much more traditional look. Also, there was a full cast of the mummified dinosaur, an exceptional Edmontosaurus found in Wyoming in 1908, 110 years ago. Still in herbivores, and specifically Ornithischia, we have the marginocephalians, which were known for their scales, from the small Microceratus to the Protoceratops and massive Triceratops and Chasmosaurus. And of course, Pachycephalosaurus, and described by the character Roland Tembo from the second Jurassic Park movie as Friar Tuck. And then we have the Thyrophians, the dinosaurs with armor. Here we have a Stegosaur, with a good showing of how composite bones work, with some of the partial plates being broken on the back, and then being completed with casting. And also some cast vertebra next to vertebra that were found with the specimen. On a related branch of the family, we have the Ankylosaurs, shown by a few notosaurs, but also by Euoplocephalus, and the smaller Crichtonsaurus, named after the author of many novels, including a personal favorite of mine, Jurassic Park. One of the Ankylosaurs also had a mirror underneath its head, so you could see the skin impressions and armoring that were found on the skull when it was found. Moving back to animatronics, there was also a very large Tyrannosaurus rex animatronic, which from a distance is a little unsettling due to the binocular vision it had, even more so than other predatory dinosaurs. In this section with the animatronic, there was a lot of good information about dinosaurs' lives, such as Maiasaur's growth rates and how we're able to tell different teeth led to different styles of evolution and feeding in the dinosaurs. Additionally, there's this large slab from the Jurassic archipelago of Germany. Lagoons formed around the islands, and evaporation from these lagoons would cause their deeps to be filled with enough salt to prevent life, meaning you can have something like this, an entire trackway of a horseshoe crab, and then the same crab in line with the tracks. There's also more aquatic vertebrates, such as this elasmosaur and archelon, the turtle that you can see me taking a terrible photo with in this clip, along with ichthyosaurs and some pterosaurs, which aren't marine reptiles, but still here as non-dinosaurian representatives of the Mesozoic. There's also different evolutionary paths shown, such as the mammals, with larger proto-mammals such as Dimetrodon being shown. While Dimetrodon is closely related to the mammal ancestors, it isn't one. For that, we need to move over to things like Thoraxodon, which were small, somewhat dog or rat-like predators during the late Permian and through modern day, as their derived forms, the mammals. And then for the birds. Here we're shown a variety of fossils with feathers on them, like Cronopteryx, Sinosauropteryx, and a cast of the famous Berlin specimen of Archaeopteryx, and the counterslab from that fossil, the lesser seen backside to what was opened in the limestone pits of southern Germany in 1874 when this specimen was found. They also have some great displays showing how the early protofeathers may have evolved into what we now recognize as flight feathers and what we now recognize as the birds. Overall, it was one of my top museums because there was simply so much information given, and many of the signs were like the one where I showed earlier, where they gave that very specific information that's very approachable but still lets you understand exactly how much detailed science is being done on these species. As this is not just a display museum, but they do have researchers actively working on the premises. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I want to apologize one more time for not having videos up for quite a while. So that we were able to make this video. Thanks again for watching. Be safe. Take care. Don't go extinct.